All right. All right. What's going on, everybody? We got Sean in the building. And yes, I did just refer to myself in the third person. That's the kind of night we're having out here. What's going on, everybody? All right, let's see who we got here. We'll see if we got some names and some names. Logan, what's going on? Sammy, what's up, brother? Dakota, how you doing, buddy? Majid, I know I'm not good with your name, brother. I hope everything's going well up there. Matthew, hey Matt, we talked on Instagram. Hope everything's going well. Okay, looks like we have a lot of familiar faces in here, some new faces that I don't quite know yet, but I hope to get to know each and every one of you guys. I want to give you a little bit of a rundown of the event that you guys signed up for here. So this is super chill. This is super relaxed. There is no structure to this whatsoever. I created this PowerPoint quickly, and what I want you to know is that I understand that most of you probably come into a webinar like this skeptical. Obviously, right? The three secrets to massively increasing your revenue in only 12 months. I mean, does it actually? I mean, that is the most like webinar salesy type title that there possibly could be. And I want to tell you this. I have no agenda here. I have what I'm going to teach you here tonight is exactly how I did it. It is exactly, and I'm not saying I'm obviously not Elon Musk. I don't know if you saw Elon Musk is now the richest person in the world. He overtook Jeff Bezos this afternoon. Good for him. Nice job, Elon. Uh, but what I have definitely learned over the course of my career is how to translate exercise science knowledge and turn it into revenue and turn it into a six-figure income stream. I have absolutely learned to do that. I have repeated it. I think the sign that you actually know what you're doing is when you can create it for somebody else. We've done that. So the secrets that I'm going to teach you here tonight, the secrets that I'm going to teach you here tonight are difficult to apply because success is challenging. Success is tough to create, but what I hope that this particular webinar can do for you is it can provide some clarity. It can provide a light at the end of the tunnel, and it can provide a path for you to make that happen. So I want you guys to participate. If you guys are in here with me, I want you to drop questions in the Q&A. I want you to drop comments in the chat. I want you to participate. I want to answer your questions. I know they're going to come up. Be part of this. You didn't come here to this webinar to sit in the background. If you really believed that this could massively increase your revenue, then you should, if you believed enough to come here tonight, you should believe enough to participate. Okay? So drop stuff in the Q&A, drop stuff in the chat. From my understanding, there's like a 30 to 45-second delay, so it may take me a little bit to see it, but I'll get to everything that I can, assuming that I see it. Okay? So the three secrets, ladies and gentlemen, to massively increasing your revenue in only 12 months. As many of you probably know, I'm a big fan of Tony Robbins. And Tony Robbins always says that success is 90% mental, is 90% psychology, and 10% tactics. And I really never had any idea what that meant. And I kept trying, because I kept hearing it. I heard it from him, heard it from Napoleon Hill, I heard it from Ray Dalio, I heard it from all of these highly successful people. And for those of you who have been following me for a while, you know that my philosophy there is if I hear it from enough successful people, there's got to be something to it. They're probably not. They're probably not making things up, right? So I kept diving in, trying to figure out exactly what it meant. And I think I came up with a pretty good. I think I came up with a pretty good definition of what it means that success is psychology. Success is 90% psychology and 10% tactics. I want you all right now. I want each and one of you right now to think about a time in your life where you were insanely motivated, a time in your life where you felt like you could run through a wall. Think about that moment. I want you to be in that moment. I want you to remember what it felt like. the confidence that you had. I want you to think about the things that you could do in that mindset. I want you to think about the things that you would do differently in that mindset than maybe the mindset you're in right now, or the mindset of when you're frustrated or tired or don't want to do something. Think about that. And what I want you to understand is that success is not created over the course of a 10-year period. Success is created in an instant. And I know that can be challenging to understand, but bear with me for a second. Success is a mindset. Being able to generate revenue is a byproduct of success. It's the byproduct of the work, the machine, the way that you package your specialized knowledge in order to create results for a select number of people. If you want a lot of money, you have to scale it. If you only want a little bit of money, you don't have to scale it. You can work at a small number, okay? But success is not created over the course of 10 years. It's created in an instant. And what I mean by that is if you and I right now got into that mindset of the highly successful people, of that highly motivated person, the person who feels like they could run through a freaking brick wall. If you can become that person, if you can get into that mindset right now, you have already achieved the mindsets of the Tony Robbins, the Ray Dalio's, the Jeff Bezos. You have achieved success in this moment. There's somebody listening to this right now whose gears are starting to turn. There is somebody listening to this right now whose fire is starting to burn. And if you're one of those people whose fire is burning right now, as I'm talking, as I'm getting amped, that's because I'm manipulating your mindset, your psychology, your success. I want you to think about what it would be like, what you could create if you did this, if you were in this mindset 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Think about what you could create. Think about the risks you could take. Think about the things that you could do, the productivity that you would have. So when they say that success is a mindset, what success is the relentless effort to stay in that mindset. Most people think of success as a climb. Start at the bottom and I started from the bottom, now we're here, right? We all know what that is. Start from the bottom, I'm going to work my way up to the goal, to the success. But that's not how it works. You go from the bottom to the top in an instant. And guess what happens? Stay with me here, okay? Tomorrow, an hour after this webinar, for those people whose fire is burning right now, for those people whose fire is burning, what happens 5 minutes after this webinar is over? What about an hour, 2 hours, a day, a week? What happens to that fire? Starts fading, starts going away, as does your success. The most successful people on this planet are relentless at keeping that mindset, at keeping that psychology. Yes, it's hard. That's why only 1% of the people succeed. That's why only 1% of the people can generate a lot of revenue. And I know it's crazy. I know it's weird. I know it's different. But I'm telling you from experience, I used to sit in your shoes. I used to be skeptical. I used to read these books and say, don't want to do it. And here I sit before you today, and I tell you success is 90% psychology, because here Tony Robbins sits 40 years down the road, and he says success is 90% psychology. At what point do we start buying in? Success is 90% psychology, because the passive forces of failure, fear, doubt, indecision, procrastination, I don't have to do anything for those to influence my life. As soon as this webinar ends and you go back to your world, what happens? Slowly starts creeping back in. Well, maybe I don't want to post that on Instagram. Maybe I don't want to Try to network. He doesn't know me. Maybe he's probably not going to respond. Procrastination, doubt, indecision, overthinking, overcaution. All of these things, you don't have to do a damn thing for them to influence your life. Not a damn thing. But success, those influences, confidence, power, energy, you got to freaking try. That's active. You got to really do something to keep those engaged to stave off the negative influences. And it's easier to be passive. It's easier to watch Netflix. It's easier to eat pizza. It's easier to do all of that. And that's why it's so hard to succeed. The people that are in this webinar right now, somebody out there, somebody that I'm looking dead in the eye right now is just not going to do this. Statistically speaking, almost all of you aren't going to do this. You're going to say, nah, nice webinar. That was cool, Sean. Back to my daily life. And therein lies the problem. Therein lies the reason why you will continue to struggle. Success is 90% psychology. And this is the reason why it becomes so hard. The first step, okay, if you guys are taking notes out there, I want you to write this down. The first step to creating massive revenue, a massive revenue increase, $100,000 this year, I guarantee you, I will personally pay you $100,000 if you go through this list and it doesn't work for you. The reason that I'm so confident in saying that is because it literally cannot fail if you do this. Step number one is you have to know what are your two predominant driving influences in your life. And there are 6 of them. There are 6 of them. Everybody has a different recipe. Here are the 6. Number 1 is certainty. Certainty. Hold on, before we go any further, who thought they were getting fire like this tonight? I didn't think I was going to be spitting fire like this tonight, but I'm fired up because this shit works. So I hope you're listening. I hope you're taking notes, and I hope you're making some freaking changes because this shit matters and this shit works. You want to make some changes? You're sick and tired of living the way that you're living right now? Let's go. Certainty, number 1. Certainty is the person who doesn't want to invest in the stock market because they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know if this is a winner, right? They're too afraid to take risk. It's the guy who's sitting at the bar and he sees the pretty girl across the way. Maybe she's got a boyfriend. I don't want to go talk. She's already got a drink. I don't want to buy her a drink. Oh man, she's with a group of 3 girls. I don't want to go up there. She'll probably say no. I didn't do my hair today. I'm wearing a hat. I don't look so good today. They're uncertain. Number 1 is certainty. Number 1 human need is certainty. Number 2.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
There goes my Apple Watch. My Siri on my Apple Watch is going. She's getting fired up too. Okay, number 2 is uncertainty. These are the people who jump out of airplanes. These are the people that go bungee jumping. These are the people who need change, who need novelty in their life. These are the people who have 25 girlfriends or 25 boyfriends over the course of 3 years because the law of familiarity kicks in and they need something new. They need something new. They need something new. They need something new. Certainty and uncertainty, number 1 and number 2. Number 3, everybody, is significance. And everybody here should be listening up to this one because this is probably the most prominent in our society. Significance. This is the person who barely makes enough money to get by, but still goes out and buys a Mercedes-Benz, leases it, rents it for a day. There is an actual market for people who go outside and rent Lambos for a day just to drive it around and look cool. You want to talk about a need for significance. These are the people who wear really fancy clothes, but don't actually make any money. These are people who prop themselves up on Instagram because they need that recognition. They need to be somebody. This is the person who wants to stand out. This is the person who wants to be somebody. This is somebody who wants to be the best in the world at what they do. I want to be the best strength coach. I want to be the best personal trainer. I want everyone to know who I am. That's significance. Number 4, love and connection. Love and connection is the person who hires their friend to work in their business even though they know the friend is a terrible fit for the business. They value that connection, they value that love over the greater good of the business. Okay, these are the primary four. These are the primary four. And as Tony Robbins calls it, the next two are the spiritual human needs. Number five is growth. Number five is growth. This is the person who is willing to take the risks. This is the person who's willing to do things that other people aren't willing to do. These are the people who are constantly taking classes. These are the people who are constantly trying to get better. They will do anything possible to grow. And number six is contribution. Excuse me. This is Mother Teresa. This is somebody who is 100% completely driven towards giving back to the world. That is number six. Now I want you to look through these six right here and think about what are your two predominant drivers. If you're writing them down on a sheet, write them down. What are the two? And now you really have to be honest with yourself. What are the two that really drive your influences? Why did you show up here tonight as opposed to not showing up here tonight? Why do you take courses? Why do you decide to take a course and why do you not? Why do you post something on social media instead of not? Why do you frame it the way that you post it, you post it on social media? Why do you use the words that you use? Why do you do what you do? I want you guys to put it in the chat. I need you to participate. I need you to be here with me right now. Put it in the chat. What are your two? What are the two that you have that drive your life? I will tell you right now that the most popular ones, the two driving influences that are more prominent and prevalent than any of the other two are certainty and significance. More than likely, most people in here are driven by certainty and significance. Certainty and significance. Now, I want to ask you this. If you are driven by certainty and significance, can you ever succeed? The reason that the answer to that is no is because these are two conflicting influences. Every time you try to be significant, it pulls you this way, and your certainty says that's too tough. Because the only way that you could be significant in this world is by taking risks, by taking chances, by doing things that other people are unwilling to do. If you want to be significant, you most certainly cannot be certain. These are two conflicting beliefs. Most people's two driving influences, the reason that they can't get out of their own freaking way is because they have two conflicting influences. Now, what every one of you in here right now needs to be driving towards is growth and contribution. We got some people in here. Matt, thanks for dropping in. Certainty, love, and connection. Dakota, realistically, significance, and the second is tough. Most likely, it is significance and certainty, guys. Most likely, it is significance and certainty that drives people. And let's keep going. Let's pull some more layers back here. I want you to think of somebody in your head right now who is incredibly successful. Now, I have a lot of people in our industry fool themselves. They fool themselves by saying that I'm driven by growth and contribution. They fool themselves by thinking that they want to keep getting better. They take all these courses, and I care about having impact in our society. I'll tell you this right now. If you think that you are driven by growth and contribution, go check your bank statement right now. And if it doesn't say multiple millions of dollars, you are unlikely to be driven by growth and contribution. Because if you truly are, if those are truly your driving influences, it is impossible not to generate revenue. It is impossible not to. I want to bring up a guy that you guys might have heard of. His name is Jeff Bezos. Does anybody know who Jeff Bezos is? Unfortunately, a bad day in Bezos land as he was now named the second richest person in the world. But Jeff Bezos is the founder and CEO of Amazon. And Amazon, in the history of its company, has never taken a profit. They have never reported a profit to their shareholders. And that is because they keep growing and growing and growing. They reinvest, they buy Whole Foods, they reinvest, they buy Zappos, they reinvest, they reinvest, they reinvest, they reinvest over and over and over again. They're constantly obsessed with growth. And if you go back to the history of Amazon's product, of what Amazon does, you'll see that he is obsessed with customer experience. He's obsessed with making things better, making life better, making life better, life easier for the customers. 2-day shipping, cheaper products, cheaper books, groceries. He is obsessed with customer experience. What does that sound like to you? You can't build Amazon.com if everything you need to do needs to be certain. If you have to be certain about every decision you make, you can never build Amazon.com. You can never amass wealth if you need to be certain about the decisions, if certainty is one of your drivers. You have to have two driving influences that are in unison to one each other. They can take you both in the same direction. And what you should all be striving for is, step one, identifying what your two are, realizing that most likely they are butting heads, and secondly, starting to move in the direction of changing your driving influences to growth and contribution. Because here's the real deal. Here's the real answer. I was on a coaching call this morning with one of our for a revenue coaching clients. Okay, and he said to me, I said to him, what would you do if you looked at your bank account right now and you had $100 million in there? And I want each one of you to think about the same question. If you had $100 million in your bank account right now, what would you do? And I bet some of you perked up a little bit, right? Like, ooh, wow, that would be awesome. It's really fun to think about. Now you go back and you think about what it is that you would do. What would you do every day? What would you do for work? Think about that. What would you do for work every single day if you had $100 million? Well, most likely what you would be doing is you'd be doing some sort of philanthropic work. You'd be giving back to the world, right? You wouldn't have need to have any selfish goals. You wouldn't have any need to make more money or get the cars or, become more significant, because you're already there. You're a 100 millionaire. You've already achieved that. And do you see where the difference is here? Why can't you do that stuff right now? Why can't you have that same mindset right now, giving to the world? Well, I don't have the money yet, Sean. I'm not there yet. Well, that's the backwards way to think about it. It's like trying to make a fire without the wood. Trying to go into the fireplace, start a fire, and you don't even have any wood in there. The way that you become wealthy, the way that you generate a machine that produces revenue for you, is by starting with growth and contribution. Most people say, once I have the money, then I'll do it. Once I have $1,000 in my bank account, then I'll take that class. Once I have $10,000 in my bank account, then I'll hire the coach. It just doesn't work that way. That's a me attitude. That's an I attitude. That's I need. The people who generate the most revenue are the people who have created a machine that produces a result that people need for a lot of people. That's contribution. And it's continuing to grow in that machine. As a trainer, how do you do that? How do you create a machine that gets people the result that you need, that can work independently whether you're there or not? That's how you ultimately generate revenue at a high level in the fitness industry. But it all starts here, because as long as you keep saying, I need the money, I need more of this, I need more of that, you cannot be driven by growth and contribution. You absolutely must be driven by something else, something selfish. Wealth is not created by selfish acts, by selfish thoughts, by selfish moves. It just doesn't work that way. This is number one. Address your 6 human needs. What's your number 2? Get to growth and contribution. Thanks for playing along, everybody. Good to see everybody. Majid, significance and growth. Okay. Interesting. Okay, here's the next one. Now, for those of you who are taking notes, again, I want this to be relaxed. I want this to be interactive. So if you have questions, drop them in. I want to answer them. I want to help you out here. Okay. The next one are the indicators. If you're taking notes right now, this is going to be a really big one. And I want you to get some space on that paper. And I want you to draw this square. And then inside of the square, I want you to write 99%. And then over to the right, I want you to draw a little tiny circle over here. And you guessed it. We're going to put 1% in that one. We're going to connect it with a line. And what we're going to talk about here, I want you to think about in your head. Actually, let's bring it to the chat. I want you to tell me what your goals are. What goals 10 years from now, really quickly in one sentence, put it in the chat. What do you want? Do you want to be making $100,000 per year? Do you want to have a big house? Do you want to have a beautiful family? Do you want to have, let's stay away from that because this is a financially driven webinar. So financially speaking, what do you want? Do you want to be financially free? Do you want to be comfortable? How much money do you want to be making per year? Put it in the chat. Retired, financially independent. Beautiful, Semi. I love that, man. I freaking love that. This is the exact path to make that a reality, Semi. I promise you, dude. I promise you. Financially stable, 100%. I'm going to show you how to do that, okay? And the first step is always fixing your mind first. That is the biggest step. Awesome, guys. Awesome. I really appreciate the feedback here. I want to make over 100K in the fitness industry and have a flexible schedule so I can be there for my kids on the way. Matthew, that's so awesome, dude. That's so awesome. And I want you to know that this is really the way that it happens, okay? And I know that it's not as cut and dry, and I know that it's not as step by step as we would all like it to be. But there's a reason why not a lot of people are successful. There's a reason why not a lot of people make a lot of money. It's because they haven't gone through the process to figure it out, and they're unwilling to take these steps. If you take these 3 steps, I swear to you, it is impossible not for it to not work. So thank you for your participation there. Dakota wants to work in the MLB. Hell yeah, he does. Living financially free, 1 million in the bank. Let's go. That's the numbers I'm looking for right there. Nice work, Dakota. I appreciate that, buddy. Okay, so we have 99% and 1%, and we got the square around the 99%, and that to me, folks, represents inside the box. Inside the box. You guys can feel free to label that if you'd like. 99% of the world lives inside the box. Paycheck to paycheck. Buying stupid shit. I mean, you name it. They're going out, doing things, not making sacrifices, not working hard. I work my 9 to 5, I come home and I watch Netflix. 99% of the world operates on those terms. But the goals that I saw that you guys all put in there, financially free, financially stable, 100K, $1 million, working in the MLB, is it safe to say that the goals that you put forth out there, that the goals that you put in the chat, is it safe to say that those are out of the box goals, that they're abnormal? There are people in this world who seemingly can't stop the money from coming to them. No matter what they try, the money just seems to find them. And that's an out of the box result. Would you agree? Yes or no? Say it out loud. Be with me here. Would you agree that there are people who make money like that? There are people out there, 1% of the population, who are just killing it. And would you agree that the goals that you thought of, the goals that you wrote down in the chat, are also abnormal? They're challenging. They're out of the box. They're not normal results. Working in the MLB certainly isn't. $1 million certainly isn't. 100K. Do you know how deep into that 1% you actually are if you're making 100K? If you're making like 50K, you're in like the 1% or something like that. So if you're going to be making 100K, think about how far outside of the box you are. So now here's the thing. Every single person in here right now is watching this webinar because they want an out of the box result. But did you know that our entire world is geared towards keeping you inside of the box? Our society, as well as our human bodies, are designed to keep you inside of the box, to keep you safe. Darwinism, only the strong survive. Take the path, the path of least resistance. Our world is designed to do that. Our economy is designed to keep you spending. The only way that our economy works is if you continue to live paycheck to paycheck. Did you guys know that? The only way that our economy can thrive is if you spend your hard-earned money on stupid shit. We don't want you to succeed. The world doesn't want you, the economy, the government, they don't want you to succeed. And this is not some sort of conspiracy theory. This is the way it works. This is, and quite frankly, it's how it should work. Because not everybody can handle the burden and the challenges and take those steps to get to that 1% successfully. So I want you to think right now, on your piece of paper, whatever you're taking notes with, I want you to write down what are the indicators what are the built-in mechanisms inside of your body that exist to keep you inside of the box. Write those down. What do you got? And actually, let's stay on the theme. Let's put them in the chat. What are the built-in mechanisms inside of your body, inside of your brain, let's say, that exist as checkpoints to say, hey, you're doing something you shouldn't, go back in the box. You're getting risky here, go back in the box. Put it in the chat. I want to know what you're thinking. It doesn't matter if you're right or you're wrong. We're going to go through it together. But I want to know what you think are those indicators. I love that, Matt. Introversion, confidence, to put yourself out there. That's perfect. That's exactly what we're talking about. What else, guys? What else is out there? What other things exist? Hell yeah. Fear. Fear is the big one, right? Absolutely. These are the built-in mechanisms, we can call them emotions, that exist inside of the body. Hell yeah. Fear of judgment and failure, going out on a ledge financially. Absolutely. Fear. Here, I have some listed here. Fear, doubt, indecision, procrastination, overthinking, worrying about what other people think. These are indicators. And guys, thanks so much for your participation. It makes it a lot easier for me because I'm just in here talking to nobody. So thank you for that. So fear, doubt, indecision, procrastination, overthinking, worrying about what other people think, among others. Those are built-in mechanisms telling you to get your ass back in the box. But what might that also indicate? These are emotions designed to keep you in the box, which means they are also indicators that you are leaving the box. And every single one of you is here right now. You just told me inside of the chat that you are here because you're trying to find a way to get the hell outside of the box. So anytime one of these indicators pops up, is it telling you to get inside the box, or is it indicating that you're going in the right direction? Next time you feel fear, doubt, indecision, I'm a little nervous, procrastination, you're overthinking it. You're worrying about what other people think. How many of you were just on my Instagram live? What the hell was that? I was super uncomfortable doing that. But I know that I wanted to get more people in here. So I had to go up. I had nothing to say. I had nothing to talk about. Who knows what people are going to say about that? I don't care, because I know when I feel that fear and doubt that maybe this isn't the right thing to do, maybe people are going to talk behind my back. When I feel that, I know that that's the only way to make that happen. And now what we have is we have two different things, two steps down as to how you're going to make a significant amount more revenue this year. You have to fix your brain. You have to fix your mind. You have to be somebody who is driven for growth and contribution. People only pay for value, and they'll sniff it out a mile away if you're being selfish. Number one is you have to be driven by that. Number two is we're going to tell you literally every step along the way whether you're making a good decision or not. Can you see how challenging it is to actually get to that 1% circle? Because every step of the way is fear, doubt, indecision, procrastination, overthinking. Each one of you knows exactly what I'm talking about, and you know deep down in your heart of hearts that those are the steps that you need to take to make it happen. And you also know why it's so tough for people to actually get there. And I want to tell you something. Right now, some of you's fire starting to build a little bit. We talked about this earlier. And I want you to put it in the chat. I've seemingly lost my mouse. Oh gosh, guys, this happens sometimes when I do this. When I use this webinar thing, I lose my mouse. So you can put it in the chat, but I'm probably not going to see it now. I'm probably not going to see it now, at least for a little bit. But what I want you guys to know is that some of you right now are feeling that fire. Some of you right now are starting to get motivated. You're getting confident. Your heart rate's starting to go up a little. Boom, 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 boom. Starting to get a little fast. You're starting to realize, you're starting to see the writing on the wall that this is the reason that it's going to happen. And this is also the reason why it's never happened to date. And as you feel that heart go up, that heart rate go up, and as you feel that confidence starting to roll, you're starting to feel like you're ready to push through that fear, push through that doubt, and do those things that you know are necessary. As you start feeling that, understand you're here. You are where I live every freaking day. I'm ready to run through a wall at all times. And the reason is not because I'm some freak. The reason is because I'm relentless about making sure that I always do whatever I can to maintain my mindset, to maintain it, because it is really hard when you're selfish. It is really hard to push through these indicators when you're tired, when you're not feeling up to your, when you've been eating like crap, when you didn't go to sleep on time and you had to wake up early and you're behind and you've been procrastinating. It's really hard to push through those when that stuff's going on. So for those of you whose fire's going, who's starting to burn and that pump is starting to kick in, you absolutely have to be relentless to stay up there. Otherwise, it's back to square one. Last one, guys. The last thing we got is you need to make your money work for you. You need to turn your little pile into a big pile. And it really is ultimately that simple. It's investing, right? And it's not necessarily investing in the stock market or real estate or any of those things. Well, and there's a lot of great vehicles to do so. For a lot of us, especially in the beginning, we don't have 100 grand laying around to go invest into a real estate property. We don't have 100 grand laying around to go put into Tesla as their stock source, right? We don't have that. But how do you get there? Because everybody started from this same spot and slowly worked their way up. Well, the first step that you all need to take in order to get from point A to point B is you need to make your current revenue income stronger. How do you do that? How do you make your current revenue, your current income stronger? That current cash flow stronger? How do you make that happen? Well, the way you make that happen is you take classes. You dive all the way in to professional development. You go crazy on that. You do everything you can to make yourself better, to make yourself more valuable. What so many of you don't understand, and what so many of you fail to realize, is that these courses is not money lost. If it is, you're taking the wrong freaking courses. You need to take the money that you have and you need to put it somewhere. Put it with a class. This class is going to teach me how to sell better, which means if this class costs $500, it should make me $10,000. It should make me $100,000. And that would be, if that was the case, a phenomenal investment. The wealthiest people on the planet are the people with a ton of cash flow, a ton of different streams of revenue. But when we're first starting, it's about the one stream. What can you do to generate more revenue? Do you need to learn to sell better? Do you need to learn a better client acquisition model? Most people are saying, remember, if you didn't think you were driven by certainty, maybe you do now. Oh, I'll invest in that course once I have X number of dollars. If you didn't think you were driven by certainty and all of a sudden you're starting to realize that that's you, maybe it's time to think differently. In my world, I sign up for coaches. I have coaches. I take courses every day because I'm focused on this. And I know what I'm building towards is I want to hire this employee. I have a particular employee that I want to hire, and I'm saving up the money until I have enough to make that hire. And when I pay $50K, $60K, whatever it is that I end up paying to this person on annual salary, that's not money lost. You have to stop thinking about the money that you spend as money lost. It has to be an investment. It's the difference between an asset and a liability. An asset is something where you put money into something and it comes back out a bigger pile. A liability is the garbage that you buy at the mall, the pair of sneakers that you've always wanted. That's money that's lost. It's gone forever. You have to stop thinking about your professional and personal education that way. You have to find a way to create a better stream of income. I've built my entire company off of creating that for each one of you. And that's what brings me to the 4A coaching, revenue coaching program. I have created a program that is not designed to be money lost for anybody. I understand there's an investment, but when you pay attention. The 4A coaching program is a 6-week program. It is one-on-one. You work directly with me. You're going to work directly with me to create a strategy and plan of action to generate $100,000 worth of revenue this year. I'm going to show you the plan. If you guys go to 4acoaching.com right now, you're going to see a video on there that shows you exactly how and why you right now are probably leaving $53,000 worth of revenue on the table on top of what you're currently making. And the industry average for personal trainers is 40K a year. That means that if you just hit these couple things, you're instantly up to $93,000 a year, and we haven't even touched pricing, billing, capacity, or overhead yet. There's an on-demand resource library. Come in whenever you want. There's only 5 spots remaining from now until February 1st. On February 1st, guys, check out the bottom bullet here. On February 1st, we're launching the 4-month intensive program. The 6-week program will dissolve, and we're going to only be offering the 4-month intensive program, which is $4,800, okay? Quite frankly, if you invest $4,800 in this, you should be making $300,000 on the back end. We're going to literally show you how to make that happen. And here's the thing. I don't want this to come off as a sales pitch. I want you guys to understand that this is a really valuable tool. This is an investment that you can make in order to invest your money in one place and get a much larger pile on the back end. It is the only way. So what we've done today is we've outlined 3 steps for you. Mentally, what is the driving influences that you have? The indicators that exist to let you know you're going in the right direction. And you have to put your money in one spot and turn it into more money on the back end. And step one is always increasing your current revenue stream, your current cash flow. Now, guys, you don't have to sign up for my program. That's fine. But you have to sign up for something. You have to do something. You have to put your money somewhere. It's time to stop looking at the PRIs and the FMSs and the FRCs. Those are great courses, but there's no ROI there. If you want to learn ROI, if you want to learn how to generate income, you got to look somewhere else. You got to look to somebody who's already done it. And now what you're seeing, and I'm sure of it, you understand the logic, but the indicators are hard to fight. You have the selfish motivation of certainty that you need, and I understand that. But I want you to understand that as I put this on the screen for you today, those indicators are immediately staring you in the face and fighting you. They say, don't be successful. Say, stay in the box. Again, you don't have to sign up for my program, but you have to sign up for something if you actually want to be successful. If you want to generate all of those goals, guys, those goals that you had in there were amazing. They were awesome, but they were all outside of the box. If you want to create that level of success in your career, in your life, to support your families, to support your dreams, to live life on your own terms, you have to get your driving forces correct. You have to stare the indicators in the face and plow right through them. And you have to take your money and let it compound and turn it into more money over and over and over and over again. You don't have to sign up for my program, but you do have to sign up for something. Now, what I'm going to do here, guys, we got deep there. So listen. So let's close this out. There are 5 spots remaining from now until February 1st. There's only 5 spots left. That's all that we can handle, okay? Once February 1st rolls around and we launch the $4,800 4-month intensive program, there's going to be only 10. We're only going to take 10 spots. You can sign up for either one that you want. If you want to do the February 1st one, you can either pay all at once, which most people have done, or you can split it up into 2 payments of $2,500. We can get you going on that as soon as possible. For anybody who wants to sign up tonight, I'll tell you this. If you want to sign up tonight, we'll give you 2 extra months of the 4A Heroes Club on the house, so you guys can get started. And you don't have to wait till the March 1st start date of the 4-month program, okay? So 4acoaching.com, you can apply. Just click on the link in there. Click on the link, apply. Just fill out the questions, and you and I will hop on a call, and we'll talk about. We'll dive a little deeper and see if you're a good fit for the program. Okay. Remember, you don't have to sign up for this one, but you have to sign up for something.